the late 18th century, a new nation was born in the Americas. The 13 British colonies had grown tired of oppressive rule from across the sea, and the stage was set for a revolution. Tensions had been simmering for years, with colonists frustrated by high taxes, lack of representation in government, and restrictions on their trade. The British Empire, meanwhile, viewed the colonies as a source of revenue and raw materials to be exploited. In 1773, a group of colonists staged the Boston Tea Party, dumping tea into the harbor in protest of British policies. The following year, representatives from the colonies met in Philadelphia for the First Continental Congress, where they began to discuss their grievances and plan a response. The first shots of the revolution were fired in 1775, as British troops clashed with colonial militiamen at Lexington and Concord. The following year, the Americans won a major victory at Bunker Hill, and in 1777, they triumphed at Saratoga, convincing the French to join the fight on their side. One of the key figures in the revolution was George Washington, who led the Continental Army to victory against the British. In 1776, the colonies declared their independence from Britain with the signing of the Declaration of Independence, drafted by Thomas Jefferson. The war dragged on for several more years, but in 1781, the Americans won a decisive victory at Yorktown, effectively ending the conflict. Other notable figures in the revolution included Benjamin Franklin, who helped negotiate an alliance with France, and John Adams, who played a key role in securing recognition of American independence from Britain. The events leading up to the revolution included incidents like the Boston Massacre, where British soldiers fired on a crowd of protesting colonists, killing several. Another source of tension was the Stamp Act, which imposed a tax on printed materials in the colonies. Resistance to British rule was led by groups like the Sons of Liberty, who organized protests and boycotts against British goods. The war officially came to an end in 1783 with the signing of the Treaty of Paris, which recognized American independence and set the boundaries of the new nation. In 1783, George Washington resigned his commission as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, setting a precedent for civilian control of the military that continues to this day. The revolution also paved the way for the drafting of the U.S. Constitution in 1787, which established the framework for the new government and continues to be the supreme law of the land. The Bill of Rights, added to the Constitution in 1791, guaranteed fundamental rights and freedoms to American citizens, including freedom of speech, religion, and the press. The legacy of the American Revolution continues to shape the nation to this day, reminding us of the courage and sacrifice of those who fought for liberty and independence. Here, third part of the American Odyssey historic series comes to an end. I hope you liked this video and this was an informative video for you. I will provide link of this series playlist in description box. Must check out this series and watch all episodes. Do subscribe and press the bell icon. See you in part 4.